Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. You're here with the Architect, and we're going to be covering MotoGP 20. We're going to be taking a look at the game in its entirety, but basically I'm going to do a full series on the new Managerial and Career Mode because I've heard it's very exciting this time round. It wasn't in the previous version, it is in the new version, and I can't wait. We're also going to be taking a look at some of the other aspects of the games. We'll go into quick modes, we'll take an overview of other areas of the game that has improved from the previous version, last year's 2019. We'll be discussing the AI and how that's changed from last year's game to this year's game. If you're new to this game and you haven't played any of the previous versions of this game, then leave your comments below. Let me know what you want to see, talk about. We could talk about how we set the bike up, for example. If you want to see a video on how I set the bike up as we go through our career mode, then just leave a comment, let me know, and I'll do some more videos for you. In the meantime, let's hop into the new career mode and let's choose our team, select our chief engineer, our team manager, etc. Let's start some development. Come on, let's go. We're going to start with a new team, Moto 3, definitely. We're going to work our way up through the ranks, as we should be doing. So it looks like we need to choose a team manager. Okay, so we can select new team managers. This is part of the Managerial Career Mode now that has been reintroduced into this game, where you can manage your own team. You can manage a factory team if you like, but you basically got to choose your managers, your chief engineers. You've got to do your own research and development, etc. So we're going to start off with, who shall we go for? Lucas Turner. What does it say? Not a lot of experience, potential gamble. I'll get through all a potential gamble at this stage. Specialised in economics, negotiations for bonuses and salary. Aren't they all doing that? Okay, seeking out offers to sign on from teams. So he's got slightly different potential. So he looks at negotiations for bonuses and salary rates. So I guess what we're looking for in the outset is to negotiate salary rates, bonuses, are we? I don't know. What do we do? Okay, to start with, let's just go with Lucas. He's British. For no other reason, let's go with Lucas. He's British. Until we get into the game a little bit more, I'm going to work out what it is that we need to be doing. Yes, let's sign him. Okay, so he's chomped away at some of our credit there. Okay, so we can join a factory team, or we can establish a new team. Okay. So my objective here, I guess, is I want to move up as fast as possible up to GP class. So let's start out with a factory team. I'm a bit of a KTM fan, really. We're going to go with the Tech 3 KTM, I think. Yeah, let's do it. So, annual salary 151,000 credits. Team expectations. Championship. Top 10 for championship goal. Qualification on the 4th row. I have no idea whether that's an easy thing to do or not, but let's get stuck in. Let's start here. Let's just start. Let's get this signed. There we go, signature on the dotted line. So there we are. That's what we look like, guys. Let's just have a look what we can configure here. So I set up my rider previously as part of the game options outside of this. So I'll just run through these very quickly for you, just so you can see some of the configurations that can be made as part of this. But helmet, I am a Shark helmet fan, but you can select lots of different helmets from here. Initially I went with Shark. My number 10, I downloaded this one. This is a download. Number 10, that's my number. Rider stickers, I need to create a rider sticker. They don't really have one for me, but for now I've gone with Rocket Man. But I think I'm going to create my own, the Architect, so we can put that on our bum. Gloves, we've done gloves, so you can do the boots as well, knee sliders, etc. Suit, riding style. So riding styles, I'm a shoulders out kind of guy when I ride my own bikes, so I'm going to stick with that. You know what, I'm going to change the braking to 4 fingers. Okay, so we're all set up. So let's confirm that and let's go. By the way, guys, you can follow me on Instagram as well. I'll be posting lots of stuff on Instagram, so you will be able to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. So what have we got here? So we've got a manager, personal manager, Lucas. We've got our team. Proposals received, so we don't have any proposals received yet, or we can change and establish a new team there, so I think we're all good in that respect. Okay, technical staff, so we've got chief engineer, that seems to be chosen for us. So he's strong in the engine department, it would seem. Chassis not so strong. We've got a data analyst who's in sync with that as well. The synergy of the technical staff, so I guess we need to keep them as in sync as possible. Okay, so it seems that for this particular season, I thought I'd seen something different there, but I think for this season we can only research the engine and frame anyway, on the Moto 3 bikes. So in this area, research and development, we can either do development or we can do some research. So we've got some staff already assigned there, but let's look at what we can develop. So we should make a start on this, I guess, but we don't think we have enough points. So to be developed, so we need to meet the requirements before we can start developing each of these nodes. Okay, so we can't do anything there yet. We can't do anything with the frame either. So is this because we don't have any staff on them? So research. So we've got some. Let's just have a look at these. So let's try and understand how this works a little bit. So if we take Lucas for an example, so his strength is in the frame. So he's got 50 points for the frame. Okay, and the area of his strength is frame. So if we look on the right hand side where it says area, I think that's saying that his area that he's been assigned to is frame in the research department. I think it looks like they're all in research at the moment, working on the frame. So if we go over to frame, you should see them there. Okay, so that kind of aligns right. Okay, I think I know what's happening. So I don't think we can do anything yet. So then our other area of the managerial career is just to look at the standings, Moto 3 standings. Okay, so we'll come out of that. We don't need to see that right now because there's nothing to do. Customization at the top there. So at the top there we've got home and customization. Customization obviously just lets us go into the bike and customize it, as well as the rider configuration. Okay, so I think we just need to advance on to the next week. So let's go into calendar. We press Y, advance on to the next week. So how has that changed things? Can we now do something? I want to get these guys on development as soon as possible. So we've got 100 points there now, although I can't remember what it was before. Okay, so we can develop the frame now. So let's do that. So if we develop this piece, we're developing the braking stability. So we just need to assign some staff. So we're going to say yes, we want to develop this node. We want to choose people specifically with strengths in frame development. So we're going to choose Lucas. So he's gone. So okay, 6 weeks now for the development, and that's in progress. So what do we do now? Do we keep the other guys on research, or do we add some more staff to the development of the frame? Let's do that and see what happens. How many staff do we need to add to the frame? So 3 weeks. Okay, so 3 weeks for the development of that frame. If we go back out to the calendar, let's see when our next race is. How many weeks have we got? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 9 weeks for the first race at Losail. So we need to try and do as much as we possibly can in that 9 weeks. So we've got 3 weeks for that. I think we should be able to get the research data available to be able to develop this node here. So I think what we've got to look at, guys, as part of this managerial career is we've got to work out how many points of research we get to develop the next node whilst developing the frame with the research data that's already met the requirements. So we know we've got 9 weeks to go before our next race. If we look at research, weekly production, we get 100 research points. So in development, we know that we need another 300, so we've got at least 3 weeks to go before we can start developing this piece, and we know that this piece is going to take 3 weeks, so we can bounce straight onto the development of the carbon reinforcement on the frame beam, if that's the route we choose to take, and I think we probably should do, and that just seems like the natural step. So in terms of the frame research then, so let's go to development on the engine research, sorry. So what is it we need? So could really do with getting this engine developed, couldn't we, for the first time, for increased performance if we're going to do well in this game. So how many points? Oh, we need 300 points. How many research points of development each week? Okay, so we've got 50 research points, so we should put more people into this engine development, engine research, sorry, because that's going to take us about 6 weeks. So let's just see if we can spread this out a bit and add some staff. If we take, let's take one off, the frame research, and add this to the engine research. Come on, Simon, help us out. So our weekly production now on each frame and engine is now 75 points. The rest of the guys are developing the frame. So that works. So and now we need to go 3 weeks and advance, don't we, in the calendar? So let's do that. Let's advance that week, that week. Now we're into week 4. Our salaries have been paid. I think we should. So we've got one more week for the frame. I think the strategy for the development here, guys, you've really got to keep on top of your weeks. Don't kind of rush this. Because you want to squeeze the most amount of research and development out of the season as you possibly can. So we're still not quite there yet. We've got one more week to go there. So let's go and advance another week. Okay, so now we've got the frame development is done. So braking stability now has been added to the bike. We've still got another week to complete requirements for the engine. So let's go forward one more week. So now we should be able to develop the engine. Yes. Okay, so let's get some staff assigned, but let's look at our next objective. So we got another 100 points there, so we can really push on the development of this engine. I think we've got about 3 weeks left. So let's try and get some staff over onto this. The icons in the area, the little icon reading the book, I've determined means that they're in research. The one with the spanner means they're in development. So we know that we can take Claudia off research and we can put her straight into development. So we're going to do that. We're going to select her. So that's 8 weeks. 8 weeks for the development of the engine. Let's see if we can add some more stuff though. If we need to keep Simon there, so Tobias, he can go. So I want to try and get this engine done before we go out for our first race. But we still need people on research to keep that going. Let's add somebody into the frame. So this is for the carbon reinforcement on the beam frame. Let's see who we can add. Can't really add anybody, only Felix. But if we add Felix, we've got nobody on research. So I think that's it, guys. I don't think we can really do any more. We've got the requirements. Then again, our engine will be done soon, so let's add Felix. Let's take him out of research. Let's put him into there, although it's not really changed, has it? It's not changed anything. So let's put him back into research. Sorry Felix, you're not adding any value to the development of the frame. So you're going back into research. Off you go. Good man. Don't argue. Okay, so this is kind of the changes that have been introduced in this game from the last game, and I think it's much better. I've really missed this managerial side of the GP game. I mean, it's great to race, but I love managing the team as well, so I'm really pleased that this has come back in. So let's advance to the next week. So engine, we've got 2 more weeks, so we can do this. We can do this. We've paid our salaries. Development of 1 engine component in the engine area done. Okay, so let's go back into this now and see what we can do. Just have a look at the calendar for a second. Let's work out how many weeks we've got to the next race. We want to try and squeeze an improvement in between races. So after this week, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. So let's see if we can kind of tailor an improvement within the next 4 weeks. So we've got the frame in 5 weeks. So we could probably do with trying to increase that development if possible. Can we develop? No, we can't develop the engine. Can we develop the frame? Can we improve this and produce this upgrade within 4 weeks? That would be great if we could. 3 weeks, look. 3 weeks we can get this done. Okay, Pablo. You're on engine development at the moment, but you're going to move over to frame development. And so are you. We can't do anything on the engine, so we've got 3 weeks now for that. So our next development piece, which really needs to be the engine to improve the fuel injection flow managed by the ECU, we need quite a few points, and we've got roughly 4 weeks to get these points. No, we haven't. We've probably got a week really if we want to get the next upgrade in. So Claudia, you're going over into research. Oh, it gets confusing, I forgot now. So development, frame development, we've got 3 weeks and we've got 3 staff on that, so we can't take anybody from frame development. That's all I need to remember. God, my mind's a mush. We can't take anybody from frame development. Just remember that, guys. So we can't take these top 3. So we can only take engine development people, which are these guys here. Okay. Although when we added Tobias, he didn't really improve anything. So let's see if we can move him over to the frame. Tobias, see, yeah, he's going to be adding more value to move him over to the frame research. So that's what we're going to do. advance to the next week. 2 weeks for the frame. And that brings us to the Qatar first round of the season. So I think we're going to leave it at this, guys. We've started the research going, we've chosen our team, we've chosen our livery, our colours, we've chosen our chief engineers, we've chosen our team manager, data analyst, we've got some development done on the engine and the frame, we've now got research happening. So the next stage for us, guys, is to head off into qualifying and then head off into the opening race at the Sail Circuit Qatar. Really looking forward to this series. If you want to come along and join me, hit subscribe. If you've enjoyed this video, hit like, and I'll see you next time round, guys. Bye bye.